We were finished last week. We were discussing about Chazzan and Shliach Tzibur, Kavua and Shuls. What were the prerequisites for Shliach Tzibur?
Yeah.
It's in Siman Nun Gimel. We are actually closing to holding towards the ending of the Siman. We hopefully will finish tonight the Siman.
Which halacha?
So
Which page? Kuf pay?
Page Kuf Tzadik Aleph.
Tzadik? Aleph.
Kuf Tzadik Aleph.
Halacha what? Lamed base?
Lamed. We're holding Lamed.
Oh, right.
Last week we mentioned that a few nekudas. One nekuda was it's better to pay the chazan. It should be voluntary, because if we know he's paid, then another person who's not roy can't just come up and take the amud. And also, the shliach tzibur himself is more careful with his davening when he's paid. You know you're paid, you have to do a good job.
That's right.
So you have to be
more medactic.
You have to be on time. You have to do everything kedabai. So there's a certain mile in paying someone. Someone says, I want to volunteer. A mile, yeah, you should be paid. This way it will be errands. So be serious. Then we spoke also, a person's not allowed to daven for the Amid without the ratzon of the call. If someone just comes to the Amid and forces his way up, you don't answer Amid after his brachis. And Beitzeh Beirich Nirz Hashem. So Hashem is not happy with forcefully or with gaiva to go and take the Amud, and the Oilam doesn't want the person. You don't want it, you go to another shul, you can't force your way up. We learned important halacha. One should not fight for any mitzvah. For example, glila. Then glila sefer Torah was considered a chashuv thing, like the Gemara says that hagoylu keneged kulan. The one who does glila, he gets schar more than everyone else. The one who's goyel the sefer Torah. So people would run for glila, and today would be for other things, for shishi, shlishi. One should not fight for any mitzvah, even for a mitzvah. And the raya was, we find that by the lechem hapanim, eating lechem hapanim is a chamitzvah. And still in all it says that there were two types of koyanim. There were koyanim that were gargarim. The gargarim choytfim, they run and grab the lechem hapanim to chaparain first before anyone else. It's a Gemara in Yuma. And the tznuin, the modest ones, would hold back and let other people take. They wouldn't go with this whole crowd around. Edel, more refined.
Yeah.
And even though it's a mitzvah the same in our Torah, to eat lechem hapanim, still we don't fight. And here we learn that we don't fight for any mitzvah. So someone else will do it. You don't have to fight for it.
What happens? He takes away the mitzvah, steals it, and Gans, there's nothing left for you.
Don't fight for a mitzvah. So it's not Shem sees Aynis Rachmana Patre. We can't not be who we are. So we have to stick to our Kol Yaakov. Certain situations that we're put in, sometimes if we feel we need to react in a certain way, it's not becoming of a Yid. Even though it's for a mitzvah, we don't necessarily, we have to sometimes take a step back and say, listen, what will be, but this is not the way we behave, this is not an haka, and that's it. So sometimes we don't see clearly why things happen this way, but sometimes there is Shayim Gavin by. Elam Hazah, it says in Kabbalah, from the Rizal, that Elam Hazah, the Ra in Elam Hazah is kosher. It's kosher, Mais Elam Hazah, kosher Meroim, because the Ra in Elam Hazah is goiver. There's other Olam is Ruchnim, but there's no more Ra than this world. That's why we see that a lot of times the Shayim Gavin by the Shayim rule.
Yeah.
In certain situations, there's nothing, but whatever it is not appropriate. We don't have to discuss with Shayim over here, but it's not appropriate to push away others and to have machloikis for mitzvah. And machloikis for mitzvah, someone else wants it, so let him have the aliyah, let him have the in. Not that. What's the whole thing? The fight for the mitzvah. The whole thing is that there should be a mitzvah. So it's better there should be avava achvareyus, and not to fight about the inyan. Sif Lamed. How do we pay the Shliach Tzibur? Schar Shliach Tzibur Yesh oimim, some say, shapoyim mikupas hakol, shagoyim lefimamin kol ish ke'erkei. That you collect
according to
from
his
everyone
ability.
according to their ability.
Tax.
Right. But the tax is based on your means, meaning a certain percentage that everyone has to, but it's not the same for everybody. Half a piece of shliach tzibur moitzi sadal kashir. L'chol shliach tzibur is here for the poor man, just like the rich man. Kol mokim im yad ani maseges. The ani does not have enough money like the ashir. V'chein kol mashihi takonas hatzibur v'nasa yidei mamin lo yisnifei mamin. Anything position which is a takana of the tzibur and you need to pay for it, according to this opinion, we have to pay based on what people have. So the poor man does not pay as much as they should.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is the poor man doesn't have the money to pay for it. However, Yeshem, others say, Shegoivin Chatzi Lefi Mamin V'Chatzi Lefi Nefashis. Some say we do 50-50. Half of it is based on everyone's worth, and half of it is based on per person.
So is it okay?
How do you calculate this?
I'm not sure how, if we do per person or per household.
So it's chatzil fi
It's
mom.
a quarter per household, but meaning like this. Let's say we say $50 for every person. $50 every person is a flat rate.
That's flat rate you're talking about. That's chatzil
Right.
fi mom.
No, that's lefi nefashis.
Oh, that's flat rate
Lefi nefashis means lefi every person, per person.
per person. Yeah.
Lefi mammon means according to your money that you have, according to your
Your
percentage.
So how do you mitzvah? You have $50 a piece, and then you have the variable sliding rate
Half of the money that's needed for
will be fixed,
yeah,
and the other half will be according to income, based on income.
correct.
I see.
Why is this so? Why does the Shita hold this way? Ki yesh tzvar aloymer sha'ani tzarech hashir tzibur kamei asher.
Come on, see, he needs
There
it
is an
also.
opinion that the ani needs the sheikh tzibur, just like the usher. יש לפעמים שהעשירים מוסיפים בשכר לשליח ציבור שקורא לערב יסר, ואין הניים חפצים בכך. However, so one side of the coin is that the ani needs the sheikh tzibur just like the usher needs him, so they're the same. So it should be the fina fashis per person. The other svara is that why should the rich person have to pay more, have to give chip in more?
Because
Because
better stuff.
they want to pay more. The rich man has his class and he has a style. For him, he needs a higher service.
Yeah.
And a better chazan. Shenken say, listen, we're not interested. We don't have the money
We
for
don't
it.
got the money for it.
It's not something that's b'chalal in our status.
Could be wants to show that he's a sponsor. So maybe he wants
Okay,
to show that.
so he's a sponsor. So for the aniyim, it's not their status b'chalal. So they don't feel like they're missing it. We don't need it b'chalal. So therefore, this is a svara lakan and svara lakan. So we do
Make
yachlokim.
hapshara.
Yeah. Alkein also pshara zois.
Also, see, makes this
V'chein hu minig kehilos b'medinas
He's
habi.
happy.
This is the minig of many kehilos in many countries. V'ksas medinas in some countries, dal v'ashir nois meshava. Poor and rich give alike. Ach, yesh lekitza mikol nisuin, zeh lefi hamamin.
What's mislufi? Regardless.
It seems that he gets a certain amount for every wedding
Oh,
that he officiates at. And that one goes lefi the money. Lefi mama. That goes according to the.
well, you're talking about a tax. A
Yeah.
tax for Achnos's collar, Chasna collar.
No, it seems to be
They call Nisuin. Nisuin means
no. It seems that it be from every. It seems like he gets something from every wedding. It's probably because the chazan officiates by the wedding.
oh, I see.
Right.
So he officiates by the chasana, so he gets a certain amount of money. So instead of just paying him a flat rate for every chasana, $100 for every chasana, and this even in the minig place that do half, when it comes to the chasana, they give him according to the mammon based on the person's income. Makim shei minig, in a makim where there is no minig, yeshlig base lefi mamin. Then the svara that overweighs is that you should go, like we explained at the beginning of the sif, the first opinion, you should go according to the income. Because the majority of times is the rich people want to give more, they want a higher level chazan, see the voice, and he cannot afford it. So therefore, when there's no minig, we should take on this svara. But when those places that have a minig is because they made up shara, and they took upon themselves this shara of half with certain mekaymis. But if we don't have a minig in place, then we're going to go to feed income. It's not appropriate to push to force this tax on the whole kehila when the niim kitztaina, we don't want it. So you're making us pay for something that's not a service that we request b'chalal. So therefore, that's in the real svara. The real svara is you have to go for the income, for amamin. Just there are certain medinas that made a minig pshara in between the two.
Could be one guy says, I don't want my davening to be embellished. I'm happy with a simple davening.
Right. So that, yeah. Sif Yelamed Aleph. Tzibur shetzrichim nisker rav asher tzibur min yadam k'dei sipuk shneim. The tzibur needs to hire both a rav and a shliach tzibur, and they don't have enough money for both. Imu rav muvak, o baki behira, who koydem a shliach tzibur, shetalmud Torah koydem lakoydem. If he's a real rav, and Taka is an expert in passing the shilas, he comes before the chazan, because Talmud Torah can make a kulan, it's before everything. Mim lav shliach tzibur koydem k'dei l'hoytziram lichavasim, because he needs to be moitzi lichavasim because of tefillah. So there's an in of Talmud Torah and tefillah over here. So if he's taka such a chashav rav and he's taka worth his weight, Talmud Torah koydem. But if not, then you need to be yoitz your davening. Shliach tzibur shimoitzi you, so you need to pay the chazan.
If the rav is not a baki but a rav, who has kedima?
Right, that's what he's saying. In lav shliach tzibur koydem.
He has more priority over the rav.
The chazan has over priority. Because kedei l'hoytziram lichavasim, because you need to be yoitz in tefillas. To daven first. A misal kan shliach tzibur menasei elu keinin say psul. We don't remove a chazan from his position unless we find in him something which is psul. Be'edin. Psul be'edin. You find something wrong with him, something puzzle with witnesses. Aloi mishumrinim ba'alma. Not because of rumors. Going, for example, Sheyatzel Shem Shenitus Hanachis. There's a rumor that he had an affair with a shiksa. Or that he did Mesira. He was a Masr and he informed on the Jew.
What if it wasn't Shem Hashemis?
Huh?
What if it wasn't Shem Hashemis?
L'choda the same thing. If there be such a
it's a psul.
It's a psul, yeah, l'choda.
Yeah.
Not sure.
About
Bring those examples. I think it's because these are the more typical examples of the kehilas. There wasn't such a taiva to be shown to be mechal Shabbos. The whole kehila was from. It was a very strong kehila standing. Not being from those days meant you had to join the goyim because you had to. There was either you're part of the Yiddish the shtetl and the Jewish quarter and everything that went on, or where you're going to go next. So it was a big jump. But say that he did something with a goya, or he did mesida, were things that could happen. Anyway, maybe that's just a thought why he brings those examples. Even though we don't remove the shliach tzibur, however, we should
bring him to court.
We should set up a bezin on this issue and to look into it. Any aid come regarding this or anything similar, remove him from his position. What's that was without trickery, without deceit.
How do you evaluate someone does tshuva shleima? How do you?
Even if he swears, he won't go back to these ways. He didn't follow. He didn't already follow the first shvua. And Hasini, we were all sworn to keep the Torah. He couldn't keep to it, so we're not going to rely on a shvua. We need facts on the ground that we see that he changed his life,
behavior, his behavior,
and it's clear to everyone he wasn't just doing it to get back to position. It's clear that the Olam says, no, we could see he meant it be'emes. He's a real Baal Tshuva. In such a case, so then
you can reinstate him.
Yeah.
What if somebody is like a murmur to one thing in the Torah? He's murmur to follow Torah. He says, I don't hold. Let's say I don't hold that you can't borrow money out with interest. He doesn't hold that he wants to make money being interest. So he's considered a murmur to everything else in the Torah.
No, but the thing is that
he still believes, like you think I don't care, but I want to.
But the Gabi the Shliach Tzibur, that's already a psul. That's already a psul. The Gabi it can be a Shliach Tzibur. The Gabi believing, I it's a different. I remember in one of the first Sefer Tshuvas from Shmuel Vosner, Alav Shalom Tshuva Shevet Alevi, he has a tshuva about a shoichet that watches television. This is the shaila. So a shoichet
on Shabbos.
Okay, regular person watches television, but a shoichet, the shoichet's watching television. So he says, even though it's not appropriate he should watch television, but it doesn't mean a shchita is not a shchita. Just because he,
Is it not an Avera Mamish?
The lashon that he wrote, the lashon actually what he wrote was, the lashon he wrote actually was that even though it's aser, so he wrote something even though it's aser, but it doesn't pass the shchita. Lamai said, I heard from someone who heard from him, heard from a Rav who heard from the Shevet Alevi. When he came up with his first sefer, he sent it to the Rebbe, to the Lubavitcher Rebbe. The Rebbe sent him back a letter and with ha'aris and notes on the tshuvas that he sent him. One of the things was on this tshuva where he wrote that he shouldn't use the word aser.
What?
He shouldn't use the word aser about television. Since a lot of people watch television, he shouldn't make it formally aser. So then you mean
watching television during the week or watching television on Shabbos?
During the week.
You're not talking about he usually watch television on Shabbos.
No, during the week. He's saying during the week. So don't formally give it an isser, because you're creating a new isser. So if you're saying an isser, you're affecting something that you're making a rav is saying a psak, a poisik is saying a psak. Right, you're making it a fact that a person's over an isser. Oh, maybe he wasn't doing an isser, he was watching something parav, and things like that. And, especially those days, TV wasn't the same like it was today, right?
The Starkey had a newsletter about Slurpees, so they wanted to discourage people from having Slurpees on 7-Eleven. So the title of the article was, and those of you that rely that it's okay to eat Slurpees, this is what you may have some reason to rely upon. That was the title of the article David Hebert wrote.
Yeah. Just trying to compare it to what we learned in the beginning of this, and also talked a little bit about pointing a Sheikh Tzibur if you did an Aveda. It's interesting. It does say that earlier on we have to see how you can compare it, because
the Rav once got a shir Sunday morning. He asked the Shiloh that some Lubavitcher Shliach was doing Hashgacha somewhere in some Pesach hotel. One of the mashgichim was having, so to speak, an affair with one of the waitresses, not a yid. So he wanted to know if he has to remove him from his post. Else, and the Rav brought a raya from this.
This halacha?
Yeah.
Would you have to remove him?
So he said it wasn't so clear at the end.
Nope.
For sure.
It wasn't Adam.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact. But,
it was just a chashash. It was suspect.
Yeah. the guy made a complaint against him. So the question is to believe the guy, whatever.
The guy made a claim in court.
No, the guy made a complaint to the head,
Ah.
the shliach.
Yeah. Sif Lamed Beis. Shliach Tzibur Shesheichet Ubaidik. A Shliach Tzibur who also serves as a Sheichet and a Baidik. Baidik, he
Seems
he's
a trace.
Right, after
Looks
the
at it.
animal shechted, he checks to
For
see,
traces.
checks the lungs to see.
A sircha.
Lo yispala b'begadim hatzayim masrichin. He can't wear those clothing when he's Chazzan.
It's up a porsche.
Toiv sheyach lo
It looks like a
b'gadol kol
Ritzeach.
hayom.
What?
Not only that, it's best sheyach lo b'gadol kol hayom. The entire day when he walks around and he's not by shchita, he shouldn't be walking around with his clothing. Kishahalach ben abrius. Shelo yeh b'chlal misanai ahavu maves. The pasuk says, hey, so this is a concept that there's a concept of my enemies love death.
What's that
That's-
supposed to mean?
Even though you have to be a shaykhit, but it's not supposed to have enjoyment from killing an animal.
So how does he have enjoyment? What
Not
we're
enjoyment, but why
Right.
don't go around these clothing the whole day?
don't flaunt it.
Don't want it. Something you have to do, you do it, and that's it. Not only b'shas tefillah. Even when you're not b'shas tefillah, he should change his clothing just walking around during the day, because it's not something to be like make light of. The fact that don't feel comfortable with such things.
But
Such things-
isn't it nice for the people to see something like that? It looks like a Ritzeach walking down the streets.
Listen, today we live in a different society where everyone's onto cleanliness and everything. We're all together istiness. You know, in the times of the Shulchan Aruch, it was called the istiness.
Yeah.
Everyone today, we shower every day and we have, it's
I didn't. They probably didn't have the same
the
conveniences.
level, yeah. Im eine Reutz lahache begode b'shat tefillah, mesna or l'spala mavin oisei.
Oh, with the double
You take him
porsche.
off if he doesn't want to change his
It
clothing.
looks
It's-
familious.
But you have a right to take him away. It's legally a right to remove him from his position. Shliach tzibur menabel piv. Shliach tzibur who says nibel peh. Speaks
Curse.
inappropriate. Curses. Oishemeranim betfila.
What's the
B'shiri anochem. He sings during davening with Goyish songs. Goyish songs. Which
in
one?
in the davening, right?
Shemenagim behen laved salim. The ones they use in the church.
Oh, yeah.
Cinnamon Gimel. Moichem b'yadei shalasis came. Any shemea mavinois, you're moving from his position.
No matter.
Can't use the church songs for davening. Siflam Gimel. Page Kuf Sadik Beis. Top of page Kuf Sadik Beis.
Brings it from the Gemara over here in
What?
Shabbos.
What?
Pamasane of Mavis, that the Talmud Chacham shouldn't have dirty clothing. So he teaches that the Altik Misane Elam Meshane.
Those that learn.
Right.
What was he saying here?
How do you read it? Mishanai.
Pamashane of Mavis.
That people will say.
Right.
People will say.
Okay.
Beis, you know.
Asma bein abridis. Because it looks gross.
It's from a bloody clothing or just
Yeah.
dirty clothing?
The pasuk in
Dirty
Mishlei.
clothing, yeah.
Shakayach. Shliach tzibur shehiskin, shliach tzibur that became old. Mereitza limnis benoi saye leprakim. He wants to appoint his son to help him in certain parts. Avabishin koil benoi arev kekoiloi, even though his son's voice isn't as
sweet
as his voice.
Yeah.
Mala makoime v'shar dvarim. However, if he fits the description of the father in other areas,
And clothing shouldn't.
vein koilim mishun, it's not a strange voice. In a tzibur yechelifus b'yadei. The tzibur cannot protest, and he can continue into his father's position. The fee should call him mismane l'shliach tzibur min astam al das kein mismane. Shlo fa'amim im vayuchol shimapam layuchol ispala shiyimna achel asaye. Became benoi koidim sil chaladam. B'chlal, anyone who is appointed to be a shliach tzibur, Minastam was appointed that sometimes he won't be able to daven. He has to go out of town. He's not feeling well. Whatever. You can't always do it. So it's understood that there should be someone else taking over his position from time to time. So in that aspect, he has the right to say that my son should come first. Because anyways, you need to take someone else. My son should be first. Even after he passes away, his son comes first.
Why is that?
Because all concepts of Torah is Yerusha. A ben is Yoidish, the position of the father in any minuyim, any appointees.
But unless he's not Marutz Lakal, then that's
Andish.
That's on. I guess you meant then call him a shuna.
If he fits the bill in general, he's not the top chazan.
So you got priority.
He's not as good as the father
in succession.
He's not as good as the father, but he still has all other qualities. He's able to be fit into the position. He has to be able to fit into the position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chutz minuyim shel keser Torah, kin chacham amun lahabitz Torah eladin, she'Torah in Yerusha. Torah is not a Yerusha. So the chacham is appointed to give shiurim and give Torah, or for dinning Torah a dayan. Just because your son doesn't make him, he can't be. It's not a Yerusha. Torah is not a Yerusha. The Yerusha for all ganz klal Yisrael Torah. So you don't have a right to dafka say your son. For other positions, the son does come
I've
first.
seen it differently. I mean,
I said that Rabbanan they do put usually the son. The Shiva,
but Shiva always had his son Smaller Malcolm.
But usually also because he's Roy, he's Roy. Maybe the part over here is when you have others that are greater. Listen, in those cases the call wants. The shaila is if the call wants that, then it's the say that the call can accept it. The question is how the call could you force yourself on the call? The call says that we don't want the son. Could the son take him in Torah and say that no, you can't take me away because my father had the position, so I have to have the position. That's the shaila. We have in Sifla Medal. This is discussing in a place where there's no minik. However, if the minik is that the shliach tzibur son is not before other people, he can't be yodesh the position of being the next chazan. And feel nagol limis hashliach tzibur atzmei al zman yidua. Even if the minig was to appoint a shliach tzibur himself temporarily, like he was given a contract, you're shliach tzibur for the next 5 years. You could do that as well, and you're allowed to have such a minig to have the chazan on a contract.
And once it terminates, you have the option.
Since that's a minig, so it's not a bezayin. It's not a bezayin. We do it to everyone. It's not something that we're removing you. You could feel that a person's disgraced. Not disgraced. We do this. This is the system. Having people get a contract, and that's it. The contract is over.
If they were Rabbanim Havishtaler is also on contract. Why would it happen after someone have a having that's a design? If with a rub is
It's fakert. I'm not sure there's a heter to put it on a contract. I'm not so sure there's a heter. It was a big issue when the state of Israel made the Rabbanim Rashi, the chief rabbis, they gave them a 10-year limit. There was a big uproar about this. That it's politics. The Rav was appointed; he's the Rav. You say every 10 years you have a new rabbi, you find yourself someone else. I don't know the sugi myself, but I definitely know that there were definitely those that held that a halacha it's not correct to do that. I'm not saying something of my own, but I know that there were Gedolei Yisrael that held that the system and the Rabbanut in Eretz Yisrael is not correct because you can't.
But most of the rabbis,
once he's in the position, you made him the Rav. He's your Rav. You don't. Shuls also we have that. The Rav stays there. The Rav stays there usually. It's not the Rav doesn't change every few years.
no, but he has a contract though.
Okay.
It's for his
Financial
protection.
contract.
Maybe it's for his protection. It's for financial aspects, different kodesh.
Okay.
But the plan is to keep him there always.
for
Indefinite, yeah. Mashenki in the Chazzan, there's no issue of L'chatchila making a contract and changing it. This is the same concept, other appointees for the community. In Kupa Shal Tzedakah, who should run the money, the charities of the Kehillah? Whether these are positions that are paid positions or not paid positions. If people are appointed for a certain time period on a contract, if always they usually got the position for a year or two, it was a rotating position. Even if they didn't tell the person, write it down in the contract, but to the student, in this community, everyone only gets it for what it is, a year or two.
Yeah.
You can't complain. Stamon kipirushim, the stam is like this. What
like
always
stipulated.
right? As if it was stipulated, right? Like a chrayis tells sofer in the shtar. The shtar is missing a chrayis to tell sofer, right? Siflamet hey, einachal mahava shliach tzibur toich zmani b'shvil acher shekoili orav yoser.
Fire him.
It's not appropriate to remove a shliach tzibur for another one because he has a better voice. That's not the reason why you remove the chazan, because he's better. You have a chazan, you have a better chazan. Okay, too bad. This is the chazan. What happens? The majority of people want the other chazan. You should use both of them.
Who
But
says
not
you
to
have
remove.
well, maybe you don't have enough money to pay for both. What
Well,
do you do
it's
then?
probably me.
What do you do then?
Unless it means that you're allowed to cut down a salary and do half. What does
Would
it
it
mean
be
Shamshu
masculine?
Shneim? To pay two salaries?
Yeah, that's just what he's saying.
I'm not sure. How could you have two chazans? They're gonna pay double salaries and they're each gonna work part time.
That's what he's saying here.
And I know Taka don't know what's pshat. Taka have to see the Makoidis to see what is pshat and what it says over here. Because it's Taka, it's a little interesting that you have to pay two people.
It's a similar situation with the shul over here. They want to merge a shul with the young Israel with the Talmud Torah. The rabbi in the Talmud Torah has a lifetime contract, lifetime. And the rabbi had an expired contract over here in Talmud Torah. So they say once they merge it together, the one who has a lifetime contract will become the rabbi. The other one has to go. So how would you? What we're learning? How do you deal with that? That's a merger we're talking about.
You did a bottom to sit on this and work this out.
It's much more complicated than what we're talking about over
Work
here.
out all the.
Is it fair to do that?
Then
they
who's
say, but
merging
you
with
have
who?
two
Who's
rabbis.
merging with who?
Yeah, no, two shuls are merging into one.
But they merging. Is one merging into the other, or they're
One is merging into the other. Young Israel merging into the Talmud Torah.
Young Israel Avenue I?
Yeah,
So who are they merging with?
the Talmud Torah over
On the
here.
middle in Kari Island?
Yeah, right next door to the bank.
And so they're closing up Young Israel Avenue I. What are they going to do?
Sell the building. And put
Have
that.
the
And
yeshiva taking it?
they're going to sell the building and merge and consolidate the assets into one to make it a stronger institution. How do you deal with that?
Not push it.
It's something what Zinyon of the Yom. That's what we're talking
You want it
about.
on 1 foot.
Yeah.
Now people have to sit on this for a few weeks and write up a proper contract, a proper compromise. And,
I give you the job. Come back next week and tell me.
Make a pashara, probably.
What?
You're gonna make a pashara, probably.
Well, Me'ikra din, first before the Hapshara, first you have a Nikra din, right? What's the din here? According to what we're saying, you can't throw a rabbi out. But here you're making a different shul, a different
Maybe,
thing altogether. It's a different shul altogether.
I'm sure
question
we're
is
on the verge
if-
of bankruptcy already.
Question is if the yeshiva on Avenue the shul on Avenue I, they're betzim closing up and they're joining a viable.
No, they're
community.
both are both is down.
They both.
And they just decided it's better to merge that way.
Yeah, well, because they want to sell the buildings, so take the proceeds and
Uh-huh.
and put them together, consolidate into one pool of money, make it a stronger institution. Otherwise, why should you have two
Interesting
dimes?
in the heart,
Why should you have two
in the heart
dimes?
of Flatbush, you have such a situation. So
The people moved out. A lot of the young people moved
It's when
out.
Menachem Mendel's growing.
The guys with the Charles, was standing room
No, but I'm
only.
bringing it up because since we're
Huh?
learning this.
We have a show where nobody talks to
In
each
the
other.
early 70s, 45, 50 years ago,
That's
I lived there. It was standing room only. The big shoe upstairs
That's
was
the real
packed.
reason.
What, Talmud Torah?
No, both the young
They're all
kids and
packed, wall to wall. I'm here 41 years.
Yeah, so
Wall to wall with people. You told me.
yeah,
All the modern Orthodox
I've only
moved
been
out.
in there on Simchas Torah.
Where? Which one?
Give
On
the
the
answer.
Ingezwa Avenue I.
How many years ago?
Because we have a show where you bring
A handful of years ago,
That's
I
the
was there.
They're
Simchas
young.
Torah, but
There are
they-
35, 40
but
people
they had a-
Shabbos now there.
Just the young
They
cousins,
tell me.
That's it.
Mm.
That's the
It's too small of a congregation to keep the place running.
No, they so both are dying. Both are dying. They'll be totally dead. If you put them together, then you have a temporary solution. Maybe the matzv or the neighborhood change, or what do you do then? You just destroy both minyanim?
They obviously have to come to Peshara. It's you know,
We have in David.
they're merging. And they
Yeah, but you have an injured party. The rabbi,
I hear you. Yeah.
there's one rabbi who'll be out of a job. You have an injured party. How do you make up sure? You cut him in half, or
You have to learn the Dinei Choshen Mishpat.
Give him a good severance pay.
what?
Give him a good severance pay.
Yeah, that
He'll
could be.
he'll find a better stellar somewhere else if he's such a good rabbi.
Yeah, but how do you know? But who? Why should he be the underdog? Maybe the other rabbi
Which
should
is
be.
underdog, get a better raise somewhere else. Move to Florida, get a better double.
He's an older rabbi, no? The youngest well of Avenue I.
He's been here a long time, yeah. And the other one, they're both older
Since
rabbis.
1984,
Wow.
85. I remember the rabbi from before, Rabbi Solomon Sharfman.
Salman who?
Solomon Sharfman. He moved to
Yeah, a long time ago.
Israel in the area in Shalim, the houses.
Siv Lamed Vav. Yesh Misha Omer. Those that say. Sheroi l'shiach tzibur shispalel b'toich hasidir hamiyuchel tzibur.
What does that mean?
Shevavadi nichta l'shem shemayim v'loi l'shem espidus.
What's going on here?
Those days, you know, people didn't. There wasn't a
Printing press.
printing press. Times of the Shulchan Aruch, there was already the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, but then he's quoting for one of the Rishonim that the beginning of the halacha is quoting from the Rishonim that you know there were people who had private siddurim made for themselves. The scribe wrote for them a private siddur. Then there were siddurim that were written for the community. So you're saying that there's a difference what siddur you use. The shliach siddur shouldn't use a siddur that was meant to show off. There was a concept then that we don't relate to it, but there was a concept that someone, I have such a siddur.
How did it differ from the other sitter?
Obviously, the way the
There
scribe,
was art. There was artwork
maybe
involved
there
there.
was different things about it that was made in a way, a showy way.
No leather bound muscles.
So it was the leather bound ones, right? So he came in with something it was very unique.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he shouldn't. It's right that he shouldn't daven with that siddur, because the siddur that was made for the tzibur was zicher made l'shem shamayim. The shenkin was made for a private person. Wasn't necessarily written l'shem shamayim. You should be reading from a siddur that was a kosher siddur. Roy, it's not a halacha. It's yesh misha omer. Some say. Abel and Itfasim. This the last part of this halacha is already from the Taz, was already after the printing press. But the printed siddurim in chiluk bein shel tzibur la'acher, there's no chiluk. All siddurim are the same. It's on the printing press. L'maisa, by the way, you know, up until recently, before the war, and I mean, even there was a printing press, but it wasn't like printing presses were everywhere you went. You know, so there still was the concept of people writing. You would pay someone to write for you down a sefer or something. There are many people that had handwritten the different siddurim that different gedolim saw used. Not all of them were printed. The written ones. If I'm not mistaken, that the siddur of Al Shem Tov was a handwritten siddur. There was already a printing press at that time.
His own siddur.
siddur that he used. The
It was
siddur
a
is
matter of course, it was a matter of Naihak or what?
no, I think that it was Pashat that it was a Steger then. It wasn't like everyone had printed things.
Ah.
People still, someone wanted a certain sefer. He not necessarily had a way of a lot of, like let's say the Sefer Tanya of the Alter Rebbe himself, when it was first, it wasn't published. It was originally copied from hand to hand. People copied it. He only decided to. He never planned on printing it. When there was many mistakes made in the different transcribing of the Sefer, and people started accusing the Alter Rebbe of saying certain things that he didn't mean to say, and so therefore he said that he wants to print it. So there shouldn't be any room, can't be any changes. So even though there was already the printing press around, but it wasn't like people have today. Today everyone in their own house can have their own printing press. Whenever they want, they print something. But you go to Avenue J and you go to a print shop and you print something. It wasn't okay. There was, of course, there was a print, say for Svarim, but it was still around. Handwritten things were still around. It was still very common. People would pay people to write things down. Not everything people could afford to send their sefer or their kuntras to be published. It would be handwritten, and people could make copies of it. And today people are publishing it. But
So how does this affect the halacha?
you're saying today there's no difference between the Sidurim because they're not being written by someone. It's by a printing press, so the Chazzan can use any siddur. It's not a chiluk. But then there was an inyan in the Chazzan using a siddur that was made l'shem shemayim, written for the tzibur. I don't know if everyone had a siddur, their own siddur. It was an expense.
They still have such a thing? Where like the larger volumes that are made for distribution to certain kinds of congregations are made in a different way. Do they have such a thing still?
I don't know.
Like we do a custom run or something.
I doubt there was custom runs those days. I doubt it, but I don't know.
No, I'm just curious because if the halacha is that the person, not just the shliach, but also the accessories should be calibrated, then maybe this is
Very interesting. Yeah, it's the very last halacha because obviously up until now we're all talking about the Chazzan himself. So the very last halacha is about what he's using. He's using the siddur, which is very interesting. That even the siddur he's using. So we see what all the different the qualifications that first of all we see how important the position of the Chazzan was those days, the shliach tzibur, and how the functions that he had a lot of functions in the shul, and how important it was, and therefore it was also important to make certain limitations as to who should be chosen and how. So even though we don't have the position the way it was in the times of the Shulchan Aruch and the Rishonim, but it just gives a little inkling of how the tefillah and the shul should be set up, what Chazal really want from us, and how the tefillah should look.
What is the problem if he had his own type of siddur that's a little bit more fancier? Well, I'm just trying to see what is.
He shouldn't be showing off. He shouldn't be. It's not a show. He's coming up there with. Everyone's looking at who the Chazzan has the cool siddur. It's not. The Chazzan's a Yireh Shamayim. He's not going to do something different than everyone else.
shliach.
He's like to bring the kid in, something like that.
Yeah, it's not. You need to have someone who's ready for the position. Someone who should. It's not a position of a showy position, right?
Yeah.
Where you get used to it, and the politicians and things like that. The government, everything's a show, right? So, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. Not the derech haTorah. Everything's a show. It's not a show. It's a union of standing before the Eibishter.
How does that affect or inflect on chazanos? In other words, sometimes you see people get it for the Amid, and it's clear either they daven professionally and they do it in a very succinct way, and sometimes you see people who elaborate a little bit, but they're also not trying to show off. And then obviously you have a completely different level of individual who's getting up there for the purpose of inspiring or being recorded.
So it's clear. It's definitely clear that it's not. We're not saying you're not going to say that it's maybe not. It's not. If someone's coming up there just to let know that he has a good voice. So it's maguna. I mean, it's not. We're not saying you're going to remove him from being a chazan, but it's disgusting. It's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
That's clear. Shulchan Aruch said earlier on, harei ze maguna.
Once asked the Chazzan how he remembers which niggin to use for which whatever. I said, "Do you have musical, notes inside your siddur?" Gave the whole Musa shmooze. It says davening is not a show. It flows. If it doesn't flow, then you
The davening could be nice and
yeah,
could
but
be nice.
he didn't want to put
but it's not
musical
a
notes in
concert.
it. He
It's
didn't
not a
want-
concert.
So basically, you
Not coming and sitting back and listening to the show. You're buying a ticket. You see these signs in some synagogues in Manhattan somewhere where you can buy you can go. It's called a show. So you can buy a ticket for a concert and hear Sfiras Oimer or Slichas. I see these signs, and people wear a hat which is a foot high,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's called a show.
Maybe that's why.
I'm not saying it's not a kosher show. It's a
Got something there?
Yeah.